Yo, my Star Citizens and Noob Gamers. Welcome back to another episode of Star Citizen with me, Menix. And in today's episode, I'm going to be looking at how to read the pip and reticle in the new master modes in 3.20 of Star Citizen. And yeah, so we hope you like this video, guys. If you do like this video, don't forget to take that point and tickle that like button for us. Don't forget to hit the bell and subscribe notification for more videos as we drop them. And check out the description for the Discord link. And if you want to help the channel out further, there's a membership in there as well. The code dropping down is the code from somebody in the comments of the last video. We picked them at random. And if you want your code to be shown in the next video, then all you have to do is leave a comment if you subscribe to us, like the video, leave a comment with your referral code, and we'll drop that into the next video at random. We'll select somebody at random in the comments. So yeah, so let's get into this one, guys. So before we start, what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach some people that may not know how to work this, how we dogfight and what the reticles represent and the pips represent. I want to give a quick shout out to Avenger 1 because I learned a lot from Avenger 1, and so I'll link his videos or his YouTube channel in the description for those of you that don't know Avenger 1. Great help, and I learned a lot from him on this dogfighting stuff. Keep an eye on that for things, because he's quite up to date with all this that goes on with the dogfighting. He's really good. So on screen here we have the pip, or two pips in this case, which is new, and the reticle, and they're pointed here with the arrow. So this one is the reticle and these ones are your pips here. Now we have two modes. We have lead pip and lag pip. I'm going to show you lead pip to start off with, and what that does is it will put your pips in front of the target most of the time and then try and bring it down to the center of the target. And so what we need to do is we need to bring our pips into the target as close as we can and bring our reticle up to the pip. Once we bring the reticle up to the pip, we can fire. And what it will do, it will calculate where your shots will be when the pip and the target meet, when your shot and the target meet. So the pip is just an estimate of where your shot will land when the target is going to reach it. So if your pip is quite a far distance away from the target, it's going to take time for your bullet and the target to meet, which means that if the target slows down, moves, or does something, there's a chance that your bullet's not going to hit them. So what we have to do is we have to bring that pip as close as we can into the target, and then we have to use our reticle on the pip to shoot and get that reticle as close as we can to the pip. Now they both move independently. The reticle is what in lead pip mode, the reticle is controlled by your pitch and yaw and roll. And what you can do is pitch and yaw your ship to bring your reticle as close to the pip as possible. To get the pip to move closer to the target, we need to match the target speed. Now we're controlling the pip and we are controlling the reticle. When I first started, I used to think we was controlling the reticle and the other ship was controlling the pip, depending on their speed and where they're moving. But it's not. We're controlling both of them. So what we need to do to bring the pip closer is we have to match the velocity and direction of travel as the enemy. And that's it using forward thrusters, up strafe, left and right strafe. And the more we can do that, the closer we can bring that pip in to the enemy. And then we can use our pitch and yaw and our roll to get our reticle as close to the pip as possible. When that pip is closer to the target, you're going to get more shots hitting because you're closer to it. Whereas if the pip is further away, there's a chance that by the time your bullets get to where the target will be at that point, the target might have moved or changed direction or slowed down, so you're going to miss more shots. So we do that by matching the target speed and all that stuff and bringing that pip in closer to the target like we did there. So in lag pip mode, we have the pips again here and the reticle here, but this time you're going to control the pips with your pitch and yaw. So the way you control your reticle in lead pip mode with your pitch and yaw, you now can control the pips with the pitch and yaw in lag pip mode. And so the idea of lag pip mode is you've got more freedom to aim them pips on certain aspects of the ship. So if you want to target a wing or target an engine or something like that, you've got more freedom to aim them pips where you want to aim them. And so that's why we have the lag pip mode. So you can controlling it with your pitch and yaw, which makes things a little bit easier for you. Now, the idea of how to get better accuracy with the lag pip mode is you'll use your pitch and yaw to put the target or the pips where you want them. And then what you'll do is you'll match the speed, velocity, and movement of the enemy shape to bring your reticle closer. Once you bring your reticle closer to the pips, then you can move all three of those with your pitch and yaw to get the target you want. So like say if you're aiming for one of the back engines or the wing or something like that, you can do that with the pitch and yaw once you get them pips closer with the reticle by matching the speed and velocity and movement of the enemy ship. So the idea is to make sure you get the pips and the reticle as close to each other as possible, and then you'll get better accuracy. Now this is all being done in lock mode. So this is here, lock mode. And what you can do is you can press G on your keyboard to switch between lock mode and gimbled mode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump to gimbled mode now and show you the difference with that. Now, when you're in auto mode, your fire rate will be halved. So we used to have it where if you was in a gimbled mode, you would have to have a size lower weapon. So if you had a size 5 gimbal, you'd have a size 4 weapon. If you had it fixed, you could have a size 5 weapon, but you couldn't move it around on a gimbal. But what they've done is they've changed this now so that you have the same size weapon, but your fire rate is halved. And what we're looking at here is you're going to have a circle with a cross in it, and I'll show you that on screen in a second. And what you've got to do is get your reticle with your pitch and yaw into or as close to that circle with the cross as possible, and it'll turn green then when you can fire. So let's head to where you can see that. So you'll see now I've got that little cross, and what I've got to do is try and get my reticle, my little circle reticle, as close to that cross there as possible. Once I'm as close to that as possible, then it'll turn green around the outer edges of it, and then that will allow me to fire. And as you see, the time to kill is just quite a long time compared to the non-gimbaled side. So that's that. It's pretty easy. They do have the lead and lag of that, but with the lead, as you saw there, it was in front, and with the lag, it just sort of moves more around the ship itself. I prefer to have it in, if I've got gimbaled mode, I prefer to have it in lead like this, and when I've got fixed, I prefer to have it, and locked should I say, I prefer to have it in lag pip. And you can set your default lead and lag pip by selecting here, and you'll see here that I've got it set to auto, but you can set that to lock if you want it to start as your lock. You can set your default lag or lead pip by selecting here, so that when you come on, you can have it to whichever one you want. And what I've done is I've got mine as auto to start with, and lead in my one, and so that when I switch to manual or locked, it switches my pip to lag pip. So it starts off at auto with lead and switches, when I switch to locked guns, it switches my pip to lag pip. And you can do that in your key bindings. Just set whatever you're switching your lag and lead to pip to be the same as switching your gimbal mode. So let's get into what the difference is in the pips in the new master modes. I'm hoping that without the master modes, they implement this into the game sooner, because we're not too sure when master modes is coming. If it's coming in the full release of 3.20, or it's just going to stay here in the Arena Commander. But this whole pip and reticle selection I really like, so I'm hoping it comes really quick this back into the game. So what we've got here is we've got your 2 pips and your reticle. Now what the 2 pips represent, there's actually 3 pips there, you can't see it, but one of the lines is thicker than the other, is they are set to be your guns. So you're going to get a pip for each gun that you've got, and this ship has 3 guns. It's got 2 on the wings and 1 on the nose, so you've got 3 guns, and each pip represents one of those guns. Now why is this good? Well, I always looked at this option when I was playing a game and it never did anything in the old 3.19, and now it does. Now you can switch this. So what it does is, as you see there on screen, we've got a green one and we've got a red one. And what that means is one of my sets of guns is in range of the target. So I can fire that gun, them sets of guns, and will hit. But my other gun is not in range. So take it as if, say you've got a cannon which has this much distance, and then your other one is a distortion or scatter gun. So you've got a scatter gun which has less distance. Then you don't want to be firing your scatter gun when the circle turns green. If you've only got the one circle, which we've got in 3.19 at the moment, you've only got one circle for all your guns. You don't want that one, the circle to turn green, and then you think, oh well, I can fire, and then you're firing a scatter gun. It's almost like pissing in the wind. You're not going to be hitting anything at this distance. So it lets you know when it's green that you've got the distance on your target, and so that way then you know when you're close enough to fire the weapons you've got. And so that's a really good idea for me, having that. It's going to make things a little bit easier. And so that's what those are for. So you know the ranges, and you know like which pip is going to be in range. And obviously, like I said before, you've got to get that crosshair onto them pips to get them close, and then close into the ship itself to actually hit them. But that's what the 2 pips are for there. Well, there's 3, like I said, there's 3, and I'll show you there's 3 here. So even though there's 3 here, you're going to get 3 for the guns. So if you've got weapons with more than 3 guns, you're going to get a lot more pips. You also have the option to have 1 pip per weapon, 1 pip per weapon type, and average pip for all weapons. So if you pick the 1 pip per weapon type, then what that'll do is, if you got weapon slot 0 and weapon slot 1 in your ship, you'll have 2 pips. So you'll have 1 for the weapons in slot 0, and you'll have 1 for the weapons in slot 1. And you can turn them off, and I'll show you this here. So if you only want 1 pip, you could put them all into the 1 slot and then have just the 1 pip if you wanted. So you'll see here now I've got the 2 pips, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to change. I'm in 1 per weapon type here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn one of my weapon types off, so you can see it change into just 1 pip. So here I'm going to go to my MFD here, and I'm going to head down to weapons, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and you can see you've got weapon 0 and weapon 1 types in your slots. So I'm going to turn off the weapon 0 type. I'm trying to change them, it won't let me change them to change the slots, but you can normally do that in game. But I'm just going to turn off weapon 0 type, and you'll see that we only have 1 pip when we do this. So I'm just trying to change the weapon types here. So you see I've turned off 0, and now when I go and fight an enemy, you'll see that I only have the 1 pip.
Warning. There are multiple hostiles inbound.
See, there we go. Just 1 pip now, because I've turned off one of the weapon types, which shows that the pips are independent depending on the weapon slot. And I'm on lag pip, as you can see there, because I'm on fixed to get the higher rate faster. So obviously the other one is the average pip. And what that does is it just gives you the 2, but I've not found really anything different about it. I presume it just is going to have the 2 pips depending on the ranges, but I've not really found anything useful on information for that, so I can't give you answers on the average pip one. So that's the pips and how we use them and what they represent. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to show you another couple of options in here. I'm going to show you the missiles, and I'm going to show you the lines thing that it talks about, the accuracy thing. I'm going to show you them as well. So in the options here, we go over to the key bindings, not the key bindings, the settings, and we're going to go and look for this thing that I found called show accuracy lines, aiming show precision lines there. And I'm going to turn that on. And you'll see as I target him, we have some lines around the, you see I'm turning green there, around the 2 reticles. I'll pause this to show you again on the next one. And yeah, so we have some precision lines on the reticles, around the enemy and around the pips. But if you look here, you can see the lines, and I'm not too sure what they're for at the moment. So the last thing I'm going to show you is missiles. Again, they're a bit different. So now I've just selected missile mode, and you see it's a dotted line now. And when I go into range, I'm going to just hook up a couple of missiles here. And when I go into range, it just turns into a solid line circle and just tells me I've got lock. It doesn't have the things going around it like it does in the old one. The little ring going around the enemy and then turns green when they're in range and that. It just tells me if I'm out of range with the circles, and then tells me it's locked when it's in range, like you just heard there.
Warning. There are multiple hostiles inbound.
So he just tells me. And there we go. So, yeah, the missiles will lock. It just tells you there's no circle around it, anything like that. So, yeah, so that's that, guys. We hope you got some useful information from that, and that you take something away from it. And that's what I'm gathering is going on with all this stuff here. And hopefully that helps you out to understand it a little bit better, especially at the beginning for the new players, and how to use the pips and stuff like that as well, and how to get them on target. So we're hoping that helps you guys. And yeah, let us know what you think in the comments, guys, of this new system. And yeah, if you liked it, don't forget to take that pointer, tickle that like button for us. It really does help us out, pushes us out in the algorithms with the YouTube, and gets us out to more people. And the more people we can get to on YouTube, the better the content will be in the future, because I can spend more time doing it. So yeah, so we all like that one, guys. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button for us, and don't forget to hit the bell and subscribe notification for more videos. And we'll see you out in the verse, guys.